Okay, so it's 20 to 9 at night, and you join me on Sunday. I think it's like August the 10th, something like that. I'll leave the thing there, guys. And I'm in the beautiful city of Lincoln. And the reason I've got in this one so late is because, obviously, coming off the East Coast, aborting that, or going up to Scotland, that side anyway. Coming over this side, it's a Sunday. I was sort of caught in an area. I'd hiked about 14, 15 miles. And then out of the blue, a bus went past me that said Lincoln. And I was on top of the bus stop, so I didn't have a chance to sort of do any sort of background checks or anything like that. I just thought, get on the bus, because that takes me like, I don't know how many miles it was, guys, but it was an hour and a half on the bus. Gives me a chance to charge up my batteries, and not necessarily my personal batteries, my phone batteries and my power banks, but it gives me a chance to do that. I could maybe try and edit a video or something like that. All right, mate. I could maybe try and edit a video or something like that whilst I'm on the bus. It's always the thing when you get into towns, you got one eye on your shoulder all the time. But yeah, I could try and edit something when I get on the bus. And also, I knew it would be taking a bit of a chance getting into Lincoln this late at night. So, but I'm here. It's what happens sometimes. It's part of the journey that I kind of have to accept. That when I make a mistake, I'm not saying this is a mistake. I might find somewhere to sleep really quickly. But it's something that I have to accept, that when I make a mistake, the consequences can be quite, well, I was going to say dire. They're not really dire, but the consequences can be sort of, well, let's say dire, because I can't think of another word. But, in other words, I could be hiking around here all night long. If I don't feel safe to put my head down, I don't put my head down. That's all there is to it. And if that's silly to some people, which I don't think it's silly to any of you guys, but a couple of people have said before, it's like, mate, just pitch your tent up there. It's like, no, when you're standing there and it's dark and you're in a city and you have no idea what that city's like, you're going to be unconscious in that tent. That's the reality of it. You're there, you're in that tent on your own. The door shuts, you can't see out. I have no idea what's going on around me. That can be quite daunting. So I'm like, that's why I like to make sure that when I get in there and I pull the zip closed, I'm okay. I'll always sleep with one eye open anyway. But anyway, I've digressed off here. And that's part of the thing why I can get so tired doing this. I enjoy it, I love my overall life, but these are the parts that make it very tiring and make me sometimes need to step back and have a little reset. Maybe try and find somewhere where I can work for a week or so, get indoors for a little while, rest the nervous system, get some money in the bank, stuff like that. So, but anyway, I'm in Lincoln, trying to find somewhere to sleep. So I thought, well, let's just see what happens. Obviously, if it happens, then it happens. If it doesn't happen, well, then it didn't happen. Okay, so we're just pushing out of Lincoln itself now. This was quite a lively, busy road as I was walking through it, so I'm glad to be away from here. But there's a park about 15-minute walk away. It's a park about a 15-minute walk away, which hopefully has got some isolated tree areas or something like that I can pitch up. But we'll see when we get there. If not, well, I just have to keep moving around. Just have to keep moving around. Anyway, there we go. Well, it looks like there's a little park coming up just here. I might take it. Let's look at this. Look, might take a little walk through here. and see what's going on. I think we're coming up to about 10 o'clock at night now, so nice little building. You never know, just a nice little copse of trees somewhere will do. Perfect, nice and quiet. I can zip into it, set the tent up, get in it, be very quiet. No one will leave it. No, I'm here. Still a little bit light as well, so I've got to be careful, because I will, like if I, for example, might set up there if it was dark, but it's a little bit light, and so people would see me setting up. Yeah, so anyway, right, let's crack on. Oh look, be pretty cool if I could get across to the middle of that. Set my tent up at the mini Stonehenge. Very pretty. Okay, let's keep walking around.
She's got an eyebrow thing for something, because if you say with your eyebrow attached.
Nope, no such luck in there. Plus there's a load of kids walking around there, so nothing's going to happen in there. I'll just keep walking up to the other one. So, yeah, we'll see. But that was well, change of plan, because that was the park that I was thinking of. That was the park that Google Maps had brought up, so I've come back in to have another look, but already I can see a load of kids up the top. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cause trouble, but you know, you'd rather not be sleeping somewhere where there's a load of activity going on. Saying that, it does look quite a nice park though. So, evening. And yeah, so I'm going to go and have another little scout through, another little scout round. So stupid. See, the funny thing is, in case some of you wonder why I might sometimes seem a little bit flat with ones like this, but yet when I was in Swindon outside the hotel, I was dead excited and really enjoying it. That's because of what that was. You know, it was on the, and I've done things like that before where it's like, oh my God, this is so exciting. You know, it's because it's on the hotel, and you sort of, you get a bit buzzing, or I do anyway, I get a bit buzzing from that, like, oh my God, my life has come to this. This is so crazy what I'm doing, you know. But I felt very safe there because it was on the hotel grounds. Do you see what I mean? No one else is going to be walking through there or walking their dogs on that particular patch of grass. It was over the fence, so although it was kind of a bit mischievous, a bit boisterous, I felt very safe there. And the worst thing that could happen to me was I'd get thrown off, you know. But that would just be a bit of embarrassment, which is fine. I can handle that. I mean, look at me on these videos. You know, I'm used to being embarrassed. But somewhere like this, a little bit different. Lots of people could be walking through. You don't know what's going to be going on later on at night, you know, if maybe certain types come over here or whatever, you just don't know. And that's why sometimes I've been in these situations before and I'm like, okay, this could literally go on for the whole night now. And I kind of have to keep myself in that frame of mind that could happen, you know, because if I don't feel safe, I won't set up. And I don't want that to happen. I want to see something that I'm like, okay, this will be fine, you know, to get in and rest. But in the meantime, after a whole day, and all day yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, and the day before, and the day before, and I keep going, I've been hiking with this huge backpack on. You know, you do get to a point where you're very tired. And the other thing to remember, and I don't want to try and come across like I'm the hero here, but again, it's always wanting to point out the reality of what's going on. I'm in my 50s, you know, so I don't want to meddle for that, but it's trying to just put that out there. You know, that's the amount of endurance that our bodies can actually take when they have to. So but I won't be going up there because, well, there's people up there, so I might as well turn around after climbing up all those steps, now go back down all those steps. See what I mean? It's that. So it goes on, and that's why sometimes you could think it doesn't seem as enthusiastic or as excited about this one. It's because I'm not. It's like I say, I'd rather these things didn't happen, and I didn't make mistakes, and I found somewhere, you know, like that copse of trees that you saw when I was in Stalham. Beautiful, lovely. But here, as you walk around, it seems like a nice park, nice friendly area, so nothing against Lincoln. I'd be like this anywhere. There's a lot of people sitting around over here still, and it's just after 10 or just before 10, I'm not sure. You know, so yeah, that might be. So if you are thinking, you might not be, you know, I don't know, I'm tired. But you know, it's like I say, there's an overall love for my life, but within that overall love for my life does come some bad points. It's not always good, it's not always brilliant, it's not always great. However, when I set out on this journey, I was expecting that. So when those bad things happened, they're not a surprise, if you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, well, God, I knew this was going to be hard at some points, and it's going to continue to be hard until I can I don't know, I guess afford, like I've said before, a motorbike or a camper van or something like that, you know, and then I can do that, and then that probably makes life a little bit easier and a little bit more safe at night and stuff. And then I've got more energy to get out and about and do the kind of films, the vloggings and whatever else. But we'll just see where the whole thing goes, and that's what I find interesting. I'm prepared to do this as best I can do it. You know, I didn't have no prior experience in this stuff or whatever else. I'd wild camped and that sort of stuff, and I was, fuck mate, what was that? And I was very fit as an endurance runner and boxer and Muay Thai, or I did boxing, I did Muay Thai, I should say. You know, so I was a very fit guy. Anyway, so that was all stuff that I had going for me, but I didn't have no sort of necessary skills on how to do this, and I didn't sort of know that I would be in towns a lot of the time. That's another video in itself, in case someone always wonder, like, why are you always in towns? Because of the way I do things in this life, in this nomad life, if you like. It's too difficult for me to sort of say get up into the trees or into the mountains, stay there, and then the next day come all the way back down to edit my vlogs. Do you see what I mean? And then wait for those vlogs to be done, get some food, hike all the way back out to those mountains or those trees again. So I kind of move town to town. Plus I like to narrate on the towns. That's what I like to do. You know, it's something that was new to me, and I enjoy trying to get out there and talk to the locals and see what the towns are like and stuff like that. You know, I come alive when I'm doing that. I really enjoy it. So that's what I like to do. And ultimately, I hope that this channel gets big enough and people do enjoy me narrating on buildings and gushing all over that and gushing over the mountains and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, I have some kind of, I don't know, but some kind of income coming in from YouTube just through doing that kind of stuff. And then I can stay in my van, camper van, or in the bike. But at the moment I love it on foot as well. I do genuinely enjoy it on foot, even though it's very, very hard, you know. And what I might start doing is if it goes on too long, I might start, let me just take a bit of weight off here for a sec, off my arm as well. But yeah, see, when I sit down, the bottom of my backpack hits on the bench and it just lifts it off the shoulders, and this arm, which is holding the phone, it releases that there, and it's like, the blood gets back into it, which is lovely. But yeah, I might be able to get in the camper van or whatever else and that sort of stuff and do vlogs from there. And plus the great thing is, guys, that ultimately what I was looking to do was, I didn't want to be trapped in that 9-to-5 life of getting up, going to work, coming home. You know the stuff, the normal 9-to-5 life that we've been sold. You know, it works for some people. It just didn't work for me. I tried my hardest in there. I could just never get on with it. So I would rather do these sacrifices now. And this is, although it's not the best one tonight for me personally, you might enjoy watching it, but it's not the best one for me out here as such. I actually have to be doing this, which does make me laugh at the same time, which I know is probably a total contradiction, but you know, it's kind of how I am. Hello, little butterfly or moth, whatever it is. But yeah, I ultimately knew I didn't want that life. I wasn't ultimately sure what new life I wanted, but I knew that if I did something kind of radical like this, and I was prepared to do something like this, I knew that the change in the environment would bring out a change in me mentally, and that change in me mentally might open new doors, new avenues, new channels, etc. And it certainly has done. You know, I now, you know, I never was that interested in stuff like cathedrals and all that stuff before, and now I really am. I didn't realise that I was actually quite good at like talking to people on camera and stuff. Like, I didn't know any of that until you do it. You don't know, and that's where I'm like, okay, I really enjoy that. So maybe I could get on with doing stuff like that. But it's all stuff that like I say, ultimately I've used that word so many times now. However, I'm tired, so I'm going to probably use it again. That's ultimately what I will do. But you know, it's yeah, I knew the whole thing would just bring out a new side of me altogether. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's enough said. I think I've covered what I wanted to say there. I didn't know that I wanted to say all that, but I did say all that, so I guess I must have wanted to say it. Okay, I'm going. My mates are sitting there now. My mates are sitting there going, Tobe, you've not changed in the slightest. This is what I'm liking, kind of this side of me, guys, has always been there. The sort of the playful, boisterous side has been there since I was a very small child. So that might be why sometimes when things look like they're not going very well, I'm still giggling and laughing about it. It's just I'm very, very blessed with that as a disposition. So I'm very thankful for that. It's not something I take for granted. I'm very grateful for it. So anyway, there you go. I love you lots. Oh, and I can't remember if I said this before, but I think part of what I was trying to say there as well was that I also knew that doing this journey would give me something to talk about, you know, later on in life, or to write a book about the experiences. I knew that not many people would do this and make such a radical decision. So I knew that if I did that, that would also provide me some sort of book that I could write, or, you know, and look at, I mean, you know, I love you guys. You're there, you're watching. That's 11,000 of you at this point, or now, or that's how many subscribers I have now at this moment, is 11,000. You know, so there's people that are interested in this. So I was kind of right to assume people would be interested in it, you know, and that's wonderful. And hopefully, dare I say this, because it sounds very egotistical, but it's just going to have to, hopefully some of you just like me as a person, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm doing this or on a motorbike or get on a boat, or I stop and just do face videos or do a podcast and stop doing this. Hopefully I have enough guys there who would just like me and just watch me because it's me. Like I do with some of my YouTubers. I don't care what they do. I really like them. But like Tim Ward, I really like Tim Ward. Don't know if any of you guys watch him. Wonderful guy, really good channel. So whatever he was to do, I'd kind of go and have a little look and watch what he's doing, you know, because that's going to happen. So yeah, there you go. Okay, bye. It was just as well I didn't set my tent up anywhere, because the warden's just walked through and he just told me that the park's shutting in a minute. So yeah, good job I didn't set up. So anyway, it's back into town then. It's pointless walking out. I just spoke to him and said, where could I go? He said, you're going to be hard pushed to find anywhere that around here, but he has recommended a church front downtown. He said he sometimes, as he's walked past here in the past, seen the odd tent here and there. He said you might be able to get on there, find a little dark spot and, you know, set up. I said to him, how far is it to get out of town? He said it's a long way down there. And I'm like, if I walk all the way down, whichever way I go, get there and I can't find anywhere, when we get out of town, it's like, oh, you're just walking around the dark country lanes. To be honest with you, I'd rather walk around the dark town than the dark country lanes. Because at least here, especially in the city, there's 24-hour places, you know. I'll go and have a cup of tea or whatever else and just kind of make the most of it, contemplate on it, you know, like just this whole journey. I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff if I hadn't made a radical decision. So the fact that I'm out here doing stuff like this always reminds me that I made a radical decision, something that I had never done before in my life, and something that I think all of us need to ultimately do a little bit more of in order for us to progress in life and open new channels and new doors and go down new avenues in life. Wow. There you go. Sometimes that happens. Strange, huh? Yeah. Thankfully it's a Sunday night, so with it being a Sunday night, it's not as busy, I'm guessing, so that's the one good thing about it here, it's also a warm night, so I'm still in my t-shirt. So I'm not cold, it's not windy, it's not raining, it doesn't look like it's going to rain. So they're all the wonderful things that have come from it. And I have said, I think I've said in some other videos, that there is a part of me that always enjoys the towns when it gets really late at night. You know, but it's not something I would go out my way to go and do. I'll tell you what, hello mate, I'll tell you what I would do now, is if I ever did sort of like, I don't know, when I get older or something like that, and I might have a room that I live in, or a little tiny bedsit, or a little Anderson shelter, like you saw on Portland. If I was living in something like that, I might still sort of go out my way to get up at say 2 o'clock in the morning to go for a walk around the towns when they're dead, they're empty. I might still do something like that. But whilst I'm out here and I live like this, I wouldn't be sort of going out my way to sort of be walking around the towns at this time. Well, it's not really late now. I think it's about 11 o'clock, maybe half 11, something like that. You know, I wouldn't be doing that sort of thing. Like whilst I'm on this journey, I won't think, oh yeah, I'm going to sit in this town all night long because I want to see what it's like through the night. No, I'm not that bonkers. People might argue with that, but I'm not that bonkers. But if it happens, I'm like, I've noticed there has always been a part of me that's like, yeah, I quite like them when they're kind of eerie. You see all the life that was in them through the daytime, and then through the night you see it all just vanish, and it all looks different, and all the chaos and the noise and the randomness, the organised chaos that goes on in the towns or the cities, you know, all through the day. What do I mean by organised chaos? Well, it all just seems like chaos to the eyes, everyone walking around and doing things and this, that and the other. But every single person's got a place that they're going to. You know, they're going to work, or they're going home, or they're going to the shops, or they're getting the shopping, or they're doing that. So it's actually organised, but it's just organised chaos. That's just how I see it. You know, and there's a part of me that does enjoy walking around them. But like I say, I don't want to come across like, oh, Tobe, you're nuts. No, I wouldn't sort of go out my way to do that. But if it happens, then yeah, I'll revel in it. Always will do. Oh, walkabouts, they're good. They're always a good laugh. For any of you that like, I used to love a walkabout. It'd be good, some good times in there. But yeah, anyway, let's get on. I'll show you little bits whilst I'm here. I might as well show you little bits as I'm walking around through the town at night, see what's going on. Boat would always be a good option, wouldn't it? They always look kind of interesting. The size of this thing, really, a long old narrow boat. Pretty cool. What's this thing here as well? Little cat in there eating away. Oh, look, hello. Hello. Hello, mate. Hello. A little beauty. I do like cats. Oh look, there's a tent. Look, we'll walk past it in a minute. I don't want to disturb them because obviously I know that feeling now. So, look. And that's the thing, people could say to me, yeah, why don't you just do that? It's like, no. No, it's unsafe. It's unsafe, and bless them. That's probably, well, I would say probably proper homelessness, if you like. Could be wrong, could be someone like me who just a bit more, maybe a little bit more carefree about that stuff, I don't know. But being out here, I see a lot of homeless. And it would be wrong of me to say that I'm homeless. I mean, I'm a guy without a home. I'm not homeless as such. I have options if I wanted them. You know, I've got friends who would probably look after me for a little while. A couple of subscribers on here I know would put me up as well. George and Sarah over in Bude. You know, that I could go and stay with them anytime I want. You know, and that's all. They're all people that I've met through this journey. through having put myself out there in the first place, you know, and created a YouTube channel and created this kind of life. So they're all people that I've met off the back of it. So it's all been kind of built by, it sounds really egotistical, sorry guys, I don't like it when that happens, but sometimes to speak the truth is very difficult, and that's how it sounds, but it's not. It's always the same thing, is trying to point out to people that this is the type of thing that can be created when we let go of the confines of our minds telling us that we can't do certain things. Now, I'm not saying everyone should go out and do this. I'm really not saying that. But whatever it is that you would like to do, that's the point, is to just do that. So it was what I was saying, but everything has been kind of built by me ultimately. You know, and that's why I would never put myself in that bracket of saying I'm homeless. I'm okay here, and you know, we've got things going on. There's a lot of these guys love them. Well, they don't have that. You know, they don't have that, and I've seen a lot of very sad sights. Hello guys, all right? And yeah, but look at this. Nice little square bit. In fact, why not turn you round? Sorry, I try not to spin you too fast. Nice little square. I haven't, mate. No, I don't smoke.
Ah, well, that's a bad thing to be a YouTube post, isn't it?
Look. It does have some fascinating old buildings here, like this sort of stuff. Let me pull you out a bit, in case you're wondering what that little shadow is to the, I think as you look at it, left of the screen. That's my battery pack. I'm charging the phone as I'm trying to hold it, which is quite difficult. But these lovely old buildings. Look how much it leans out as well. Can you see that on the camera? You know, it's like no one's put a spirit level on that as they were building it. Look at me pulling the workmanship apart. Oh, what's this? Look, opens up into, oh, this is pretty cool. Look, all these little things. Wow. There's a camera up there. Look. Hello. We're filming each other. But yeah. Big old building, that NatWest building there. Well, it's not a NatWest building, but NatWest are in that building, unfortunately. But it's a lovely building. Yeah. Oh, I walked through, now I know where I am. I walked through here earlier. Oh, okay. Back where I started. It was quite a quiet town until they turned up. I don't know what they're doing. Things you see. Not that there's anything like really unusual about it. It's not. It's just sort of when you're standing around and they're just doing the weirdest things. But I don't actually know what they're doing. I think they're throwing stones at their own car. Like, how random is that? Okay then. Damage your own car. Cool. Well, I'm not having no luck around here, so I'm going to kind of head back out towards where I was. Try and find a quieter spot and see what there is. You never know, as you walk around you might see some little copse of trees somewhere on the side of a road or something like that. It's happened before where I can disappear into, but yeah, we'll head out. I think that's what I'll do. Well, I don't know what this place is that I'm walking through, but it's like just this courtyard that sometimes I just get an urge to walk through things like this. I don't know if it's an office building or it belongs to a university or school or something like that, but just like empty vacant car parks in empty office buildings, there's something about it that always draws me in. I don't know what it is. Perhaps I'm a little bit, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit strange, but yeah, well, I should think I think we all know that. Mind you, you could say who's the strange one, me for doing this or you lot for watching. You know, we're in this together, guys. Come on, we're a team here. Okay, I'm tired. Sometimes I see like bushes like this. I mean, this one's only about 3 feet thick, but sometimes you see them, they can be like 10 foot thick, and they can have gaps in the middles of them. And sometimes you can squeeze in there and get down. It's not the nicest because it can often be like, you know, spiders on it and stuff like that. And I'm not a massive spider fan, so you know, it's something that I'm not so comfortable with. But you can get in and go down, and you can quietly set your tent up. And I have done that before, and it's surprising how tucked away you can feel. Like you just know no one's looking in a bush for you, and it's pretty cool. And that's kind of what I think why I walk into these places and have a look. I see this sort of thing. Sorry for the glare on the phone. I have cleaned this lens now several times and nothing's changing, so I think it might just be like because it's night and the screen's pixelating or whatever, but you know. Yeah, so I come through all these sort of places like this. Look, what's this? I mean, I couldn't hear because there's cameras everywhere. But see that gap? Set my tent up there. I can't because I'm in a car park and there's cameras all over the shop, so I'd probably start doing it and someone would come over and move you on. But I don't know what this is. Like, it's ruins of some type. Oh. It's like a ruined wall. I don't think you can't see it properly though. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that might be a better shot. It's obviously a ruin of some time, probably grade 2 listed type stuff. It does say on that sign writing, but I'm not gonna. I'll find out later and let you know. See, there's this here, but it's a church, and they're all, I think they're gravestones in here. Gorgeous big trees though, like huge, powerful looking trees. See, after this is kind of reminiscent of a stay that I had in Oxford. So after the Swindon place, when I was outside the hotel, the one that got me to 10,000 subscribers, that one. After that, I then went down to Oxford, and I actually stayed in Oxford. And now I had a night similar to this in Oxford, where I was just walking around and around and around. It got to about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I saw this great big field. I've got all footage of this, all videos of this, of my journey from Swindon over to sort of the East Coast. I've just not put it all together. So anyway, sorry guys, what I was saying was, yeah, and then it got to about 4 in the morning, and I was so dog tired. And I'd slept in this kind of precinct, this shopping precinct place, which, God bless them, the security guards turned a blind eye to me being there. And then as I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, or not woke up because I didn't stay, but 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm really sorry, this is not very good storytelling, guys, bear with me. I walked out of this place, and just over the road there was a big open field. And within about 100 yards when I walked onto this field, I found a lovely little spot I crashed out on, and there was no one there in the morning. And I sort of thought, why did I not see this? I had walked all round Oxford, and it was a blatant great big field that I just didn't see. And I'm sort of thinking that could happen here. I'm walking around and around and around. Lovely town, by the way. Go and check out Lincoln Town on Google Images quickly, and just have a little look at this little park. That's where the Weatherspoons was, where I sat, where I come in and had something to eat earlier when I first got here. You know, but yeah, it could be reminiscent of that in Oxford. You know, what happened there. And that, like I say, that was, Swindon was only a couple of weeks ago now. Oxford was a couple of days after that. And I was in Cambridge, and then some other little town where I was, you know, early hours jobby again. I like to see all things like this, but can't. That there is a police officer. So, I mean, I could ask him to keep watch, I guess, but You know, we'll see. Let me spin you around. I'm sorry if sometimes these vlogs might seem a little bit boring and I'm repetitive and repeating myself, but I honestly don't sometimes know what to say. You know, when I'm out here and you do get tired, and I don't really know what to say. And sometimes it's not that I need anything to say, because I'm aware I'm just showing you, like, I love to show you the polarities of this whole life, this nomad life, you know. I get the times when it's absolutely beautiful and I wake up with the most spectacular scenery, like those of you who've watched my Drimmen videos, have a look at when I wake up in Loch Lomond and get that beautiful sunset, sunrise across the loch. Stunning, you know, and the dunes the other day, so you see all that stuff, and then you get to see this side as well. When it goes wrong, it goes really wrong. There is no go home at this point and think, oh, it's all right when I get in, I won't set my alarm and wake up late. No, I literally don't. There's nowhere to go now. So you know, and that can be quite a hard pill to swallow at times. And it is as well. I've said this before. I am just on my own here, so there's no friends, there's no family, there's no dog with me, there's no partner with me or anything like that. It's just you on your own. So, which in a funny way I kind of like as well. You know, I kind of like it. It adds to the experience. But then there is another side to me that can sometimes really feel that, loneliness, if you like. Well, not loneliness, because I don't feel lonely. Just being here on your own. I can't think of another word to say it though. But I don't ever feel like loneliness as such. Well, mind you, I guess I do sometimes, because it's just, you know, it's nice to sort of at times like this just to have someone to talk to, whatever else, just to share it with. I'm very fortunate that I have a subscriber base on YouTube that are interested in this stuff. So as I do this and I walk around, it's like you guys are here with me, and that's lovely. I'll be forever grateful for that, for you guys coming along. It's probably why I'm always saying love you lots and stuff like that, because I just do. I don't lead a conventional life, so I'm not indoors having warm showers and baths and making cups of tea and being relaxed and this, that and the other. You know, so I don't take things for granted. So the fact that you're there means the world to me when I'm doing things like this. I'm like, oh, let's chat to the guys for a little while and let's see what comes out. They seem to like it when I'm talking, so let's just talk and see what happens, and that's what I do. And so I'm thankful to have that. So thank you very much. Okay, that's the end of that speech. Let's find somewhere to sleep, for God's sake. Okay, let's look at this. Look, let's get serious here. Shut up, Tobe. Let's get serious here, like you're going to do that. In fact, the funny thing was, I took my whole life so seriously before. He's like, oh, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta make sure I earn this amount of money and look this way, and oh, gotta be sensible, don't be stupid. Shut up. It's quite good when I get tired, isn't it? What's in here? What is this? Look, I'm speeding up. You can tell I'm getting excited. Oh, that's a bummer. What is it? Oh, it's a railway track. I'm glad that fence is there. I walked straight on it and pitched up and got run over and sent back to London on the front of a train. Okay. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. There's nothing here. Plant pots. Could sleep in a plant pot, I guess. Oh, no, there's the plant pots. University. There's loads of boats all out here, loads of them. Yes, please. Cheers, mate. What's this? Big tunnel. certainly not for the faint-hearted, guys. And like I say, I always will say this, I probably don't have to anymore, but I'm always going to. That's not trying to glorify myself. It's not. I don't want anyone who's watching to make a mistake. That's hand on heart. I don't want that. That's what I'm always pointing out. The things that I was kind of like the things I was carrying before I did this. My fitness, and you know, I'm in a good place mentally, and I knew that I didn't want to stay as I was. I was happy to go into an uncomfortable zone, i.e. uncomfortable up here and uncomfortable environmentally, not knowing what my overall outcome would be, and I was quite comfortable doing that. I was very aware of what could happen and what could go wrong, and I don't want anyone who's watching this to kind of come out and think, oh, I'm going to go and be a nomad and do that and go from town to town and wake up in these beautiful places. No, this is the reality. You know, this can be the reality, and it's got a, that's why I try to point out the polarity. So please don't ever think it's me trying to play the hero part, as in, oh, look how brave I am walking around here. No, I'm literally looking for somewhere to sleep. But I'm also a very confident guy with how I am and how I can look after myself as well. So, you know, and if that sounds egotistical, well, it's going to have to. It's just how it is. But I think you've also seen the times when I go places and go, nope, not going in there. You know, so I don't just walk in anywhere if I don't feel good. I feel okay walking through here. But this whole life, when I say it's not for the faint-hearted, I mean that in the endurance, stamina, and also the places where you go. You know, knowing that tomorrow the whole day starts again. You know. And there you go. There's nowhere to go tomorrow to put your feet up and have that cup of tea and sit down and relax. That's what I try and point the reality of it out for. And that's why, by the way, when you see me wake up in the dunes and the sea, and that's why you see me like just get emotional over it, because I know what I'm going through to kind of have that. Does that make sense? And at the same time, I know that in the background, this channel's always growing. You know, so I'm trying to just change things. That's all. Just trying to change things, mix things up in my life. And should it all go wrong and I end up going back, and well, I can't go back, and now I've seen too much, but go back sort of to a more stable base, if you like, back down in my old area where my friends are and stuff like that. Should I go back and do all of that? It's like I said before, I've got a big story to tell. You know, I've had a wonderful adventure. Nonetheless, I put something into my life that wasn't there. I experienced so much in 14 months, just 14, 15 months now that I've been doing this. You know, I met some wonderful people, so life will never be the same again. You know, it's just incredible. So it's been a wonderful experience regardless. I'll be forever thankful that, you know, like I've said before, whatever happened to me, and I chose to do something like this. It's hard. Even my voice is breaking. Here we go. Okay, I've got to put the phone next. My arm is dead. So I'm even looking at stuff like this now. So I've just come across that bridge there, and now I'm looking in these hedgerows here, but unfortunately they're all down like that. But you just try anything. And it gets to like now, I just want to put the tent up and just sit down, take my shoes and socks off. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, and we can, you know, people can think that's all right. It's only a night. It's like, it's not. It's the continual. It's 24 hours. It doesn't come to an end. You know, it doesn't come to an end. It just keeps going on. Like I say, there isn't that point where in my head I'm allowed to think to myself, oh, that's all right, next week I'll go home. Do you know what I mean? And guys, that's a choice. That's a choice. But it's trying to, like I say in the little thing at the beginning, these vlogs expose the reality of my decision. You know, I didn't know what to expect. So I love this channel being probably the realist on YouTube. I love it being that. I'm proud of that. I wanted it to be a warts and all, not just the glorification of something. No, the warts and all of what happens when a regular guy makes a decision to do something different. What happens with that? What feelings come up? What emotions? That's what I try and explain. That's why it always seems like I'm probably talking about me, because I am. You know, it's my mates are probably laughing at that bit as well. You've always spoken about you, but it's just not far off the truth, to be fair. But they made me do it. But you know, I wanted this channel to be the realist, to be the warts and all. You get to see the whole side of it, not just what I'm out here doing and the wonderful things that I see and the places I visit and all that sort of stuff. Not just that. You get to see how those great things make me feel, what they can do to someone because they've indulged in a side of their life that they otherwise would have neglected, hiding behind a beer glass normally. You know, otherwise would have neglected that. And also you get to see the downtimes, like now, how maybe someone deals with that, or how I deal with that, which might be a reflection of how possibly you would deal with something like that. Or it might not be. You might think, oh my God, I'd never be like that. I'd be going crazy now. You know, so, and that's what I mean. I just wanted it to be that, a real thing for us all to see, because I don't think many of us are taught, or we get to see the actual journey of someone changing their life around. I was going to say becoming successful, but I was a success the moment I made a decision to stop doing what I didn't like. I was a success the moment I made the decision to stop doing what I didn't like. You know, and sometimes I say those things twice, and the second time slowly, because I'm saying it to me as well. You know, but that's what I love about it. The down times, and you can see that, how it makes us feel. Oh, that's what I was saying. Because we often look at people who have kind of what we would say made it, if you like. Let's say that. The Richard Bransons of the world, the Alan Sugars, and all yeah, just, you know, good, these people that we all know around the world, the what we would look at as successful. We all get to know the story of them, and we get to also know maybe some of the harder decisions that they would have had to make, and we might even get to know sometimes how it made them feel. But we can never truly experience that because we never got it in the moment. We get the book that's wrote years later about that, so their memory of it might be slightly tainted. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it might be. You know, it might be slightly tainted, or it might be now looking through slightly rose-tinted glasses because you're at the other side, if you like, and when you look back you think, oh, I really enjoyed that. But at the moment, so it's about 2 a.m. And I'm kind of just done with walking around now. So there's the backpack. I'm going to set my little tent up there. I saw one of the security guards earlier who walked past. Lovely young girl. I said to her, hey, listen, I've been caught a bit short on where to sleep tonight. Do you mind if I pitch my tent just there? There's security cameras here and that stuff. I said I'll be gone at probably 5 a.m. You know, do you mind if I just pitch my tent there so I can get a couple of hours sleep? And bless her, she said, yeah, just set it up and don't make a big deal out of it. I said I wouldn't do anyway, but yeah, so that's where I am. That's where I'm going to set up. Let me spin you around. So I'm going to go just in there. In fact, if I walk out here, there we go. And I'm going to go just there. You can see the Bergen, which is that there. And I'm going to go just there. Weatherspoons just there. Costa Coffee just there. So I'm happy about that one, but I am very, very, very tired. Just constant, non-stop. The stamina levels, I tell you, is on another level. But there's still this part of me that just wouldn't change it. I need the journey, especially as the channel's growing. I need the journey now more than ever. I don't know why I know that. I just know that. I feel it, that I just need the journey. If it expands too fast, it takes the journey away. Now it's like really exciting because it's boiling. You know, it's starting to simmer. It's getting bigger and bigger. And it's lovely because I've worked for, well, lots of you have been here since day one. I've worked very hard. So it's lovely to see that coming to fruition. And I know you guys celebrate that with me. I really do. I see the comments and the personal emails you send. It's heartwarming. It's like, oh, this is wonderful. They really are enjoying watching this grow. They've seen the work that I've put in, the commitment that I have to it, and you know, sorry, does that, again, there's my old ego coming in, you see it? Like, oh, don't say that because they'll think you're trying to show off. That's the old guy talking, sorry. Anyway, this is where I am and this is where I'm going to stay. So, just in there. Yeah, and that's it. So, I'm going to say good night. I won't be doing any more filming. I just want to get in and get to sleep. So, love you all. Night, night. Good morning. Oh, God, what a long night. I did manage to sleep for probably an hour and a half though, so I'm very grateful to have got that, and I'm grateful that I couldn't find anywhere comfortable to sleep. But I managed to get the airbed done up and get a little bit of resting, even though it's gone a bit flat. Does anyone else get a bit, when you've had no sleep, you can kind of, you feel a bit better than when you've just had very little sleep? I was lying there just a second ago and I was dreaming, and as I was dreaming, for some reason, I've bit my tongue as well in my dream, and for some reason I thought I heard all electric go off. And that made me sort of think that the city had shut down, and then I woke up like, oh, what's going on? So anyway, right, no one needs to look at me this time in the morning. Right, let's turn this around and have a look outside. Oh, we can do it. I don't have to do my job this morning. No, you can see outside. There you go. That's good enough. I didn't put the top cover on. Forgot about that. Oh, it's pretty cool. Oh, what's that? Little. Okay, let's do this properly. Stop messing around. I'm allowed to have these little bits of fun, I guess. Look, that's it. When I look out the roof. Oh, wrong one. What am I doing down there? Other way today. That cathedral looks gorgeous. Oh. And that's that. So I'm going to pack away. Weatherspoons opens at 8 o'clock. Weatherspoons opens at 8. But I've got a little bit of coffee, so I'm going to pack away and then sit probably on that little thing there. Oh, there's benches down there. I'm going to sit on the bench, make a coffee, and then think about what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'll probably walk around Lincoln and film it. It's just at the moment when you first wake up, you're sort of carrying that heavy backpack around all day, filming and talking when you look swollen up like a hot marshmallow. It's not the most appealing thing in the world, but it might feel different after I've had my coffee and stuff. We'll see. So there she is, in all her glory. Woken up a little bit now. Still looking forward to that coffee. I've not washed or brushed my teeth even yet. So look at this cathedral. Nice. Go up there later and have a little look. Cobwebs everywhere. Cobwebs everywhere, I said. Weatherspoons, I think. Well, Weatherspoons is behind that Wagamama. Just behind there. Costas is there. But I'm going to sit just down there. Make a coffee. There you go. Scruff bags. So another camp done here in lovely Lincoln. Well, I say lovely Lincoln, it looked lovely last night. Leave no trace. That's not actually mine, so but I picked it up anyway because I'm such a hero. But now I'm going to go for a little walk around Lincoln. Well, first off, I'm going to try and get a coffee. I can't have my own coffee because Numbnuts brushed his teeth and used all the water from washing his mouth out. And so I've used all the water, so I can't make a coffee. Stupid donut. Anyway, I'm going to go into town and see if there's a Greg's. Greg's are normally open early, so there's probably one in there. Hopefully opens at 6 o'clock, which it is now 6 o'clock. So yeah, hopefully there is. If not, Costa's will probably be open at 7:30, something like that. I mean, I'm not that desperate for coffee, you know. I can wait. I do sometimes get up in the morning and I have to hike miles to get into a town before I can have anything. You know, so I am kind of used to it. But it's one of those things. I've found that it's now part of my day that I really look forward to. That after a night like that, which was quite a long night, or any of the nights really, but after the long night like that, and you know, it's nice, you sit down, you have that coffee, it's a lovely switch off. You know, I just find that a lovely moment, for me anyway, just to kind of, and then it reminds me of why I live the way that I live at the moment, because I see everyone going to work, and I know that there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of them that would rather be either doing something else in life in general or doing a different job at least. And I always think I was once one of them people, and I love these people who get up and do their thing, like my family do that, my best friends do that. So it's never ever ever a criticism, but I know, I talk to my friends, obviously lots of them don't like their jobs and stuff like that and feel stuck in doing that. And so when I have that morning coffee and I watch people go to work, I'm very grateful that I've had a night like that, guys. That might sound crazy, like, what, you've had no sleep, you carried that pack all night and all this. I don't see it in that way. I see that almost as a labour of love. I think I know it's a great album, but I see that almost as I think that's the right way to say it, a labour of love. You know, it's a part of what I have to do to create the new life, and all the hardships that come my way, that come along. Well, they're not really hardships, to be honest with you. They're just things that I have to do. You know, but I need to use language. You know, them things that come along, those long nights or whatever else, they're a constant reminder to me that that's my hard work that I have to do. All these guys get up and they go to do their jobs, and that's hard work to do that, and the 9 to 5 work. Well, this is my bit that I get to do. Morning, guys. That's my bit that I get to do. You know, it's my hard work that I have to put in. The wonderful thing is now that hard work is for me to create a new life. You know, so I sit in Costa's, I look out, I watch the people go past, and we all know I love our species, guys. So you know, it does. It gets to me. But anyway, there we go. So Costa Coffee. Let's go and have a look what time it opens. Oh, okay. Not that one then, 9:45. But what we'll do, like I say, we'll walk into town a little bit. It's probably a Greg's or something, and I'll find someone there to have a coffee. Weatherspoons will be open at 8 o'clock though, anyway. Ain't that beautiful? It's just so good. It's so much bigger than it probably looks on camera as well. It's just so high, or to me it is anyway. I mean, guys, for Christ's sake, I thought Hemsby was Las Vegas. So imagine what I think this is. But it is, it's just huge, and it's so beautiful.